If you have grey hair and feel like certain colours make you look washed out, older, or just off, you're not imagining it. Some shades actually clash with silver hair and can drain all the elegance from your outfit. In this video, I'm revealing the colours women over 50 with grey hair should never wear and what to choose instead to look radiant, fresh and effortlessly chic. Chapter 1. Ditch the petrol blue. Let's start with a colour that seems sophisticated in theory. Petrol blue. You know that deep, moody teal that pops up everywhere in fall and winter collections. On the rack, it looks rich and intriguing, and it's so tempting to add to your wardrobe. But here's the truth. For women over 50 with silver or grey hair, petrol blue is one of those sneaky shades that can actually work against your natural glow rather than enhance it. Petrol blue has this greenish undertone that might seem modern at first glance, but when you pair it with your cool silvery hair, it can create a bit of a clash. It almost pulls your complexion down, making your skin look more tired and dimming the luminous quality of your hair. I've seen so many women hold on to petrol blue coats and sweaters, thinking it's a chic update from navy, but in practice it often looks heavy and a little too bold, almost like it's stealing the light from your face. So what's the alternative? For that deep, sophisticated feel without the dulling clash, go for a rich black blazer instead. Black is the ultimate classic. It's timeless, universally flattering, and instantly makes any outfit look more refined. And when it's crafted in a luxurious fabric with an elegant drape, it truly elevates your entire look. One piece I absolutely love for this is a navy wool blazer from Rice. It has that timeless, tailored structure we all love, but in a deep navy shade that flatters silver hair beautifully without feeling too harsh. If you want something with a bit more personality, the velvet trimmed blazer by Blase Milano is stunning. It has just the right amount of modern detail while still feeling incredibly polished and grown up. Both options create that sophisticated silhouette without competing with your natural colouring, and they pair beautifully with soft neutrals like ivory, blush or taupe for a refined tonal look. Here's a little styling tip I always share. Pair this black blazer with soft neutrals like ivory or a pale blush top. This gentle contrast creates a refined tonal effect that looks elegant and sophisticated, far more flattering than the harsh jolt of petrol blue. If you've been holding on to petrol blue pieces and you're unsure about letting them go, try this simple swap. Take a moment to see how black harmonizes with your hair and complexion. When you put on that beautifully draped black blazer, especially one as timeless as the navy wool blazer from Rice, I promise you'll feel instantly more polished, confident and vibrant. Chapter 2. Let go of dusky mauve. Now let's talk about dusky mauve, a colour that seems so romantic and feminine at first glance. It's that muted dusty pink lavender that's often labelled vintage rose or old mauve. I used to think it was the perfect alternative pink, but here's what I've learned. For women over 50 with grey hair, dusky mauve can be surprisingly unflattering. Dusky mauve has an ashy, almost grey base that can clash with the cool undertones in silver hair. Instead of giving you that soft, pretty glow, it can make your skin look a little sallow, almost drained of life. It's like the colour is sucking the brightness out of your face, especially if you're not wearing a lot of makeup to counterbalance it. I see so many women holding on to dusky mauve blouses and cardigans, thinking it's the ultimate in subtle elegance. But in reality, that cool, muted quality can actually camouflage your hair's natural shine, making everything look a bit flat. So what do I suggest instead? Try swapping dusky mauve for a warm, gentle blush pink or even a hint of peachy nude. These softer, warmer shades help balance out the coolness of grey hair, creating a glow that looks fresh and effortlessly elegant. One blouse I always recommend is the silk button-down from L'Agence in a soft blush tone. It has that subtle sheen that catches the light beautifully and brings warmth to the skin, especially if you have silver or salt and pepper hair. Another lovely option is the Heart on Your Sleeve cardigan by Faraway. It's cozy and romantic, but the warm undertone keeps it from washing you out the way dusky mauve tends to. These are the kinds of pieces that give you that elegant softness we're all looking for. Effortless, flattering, and endlessly wearable. Here's a little styling tip I love to share. Layer a blush pink blouse under a creamy cardigan or a taupe blazer for that tonal, harmonious look. It feels expensive, refined, and instantly elevates your style, like you've stepped right out of an editorial spread, but in a way that's still approachable and natural. And remember, this doesn't mean you have to banish all dusty shades from your closet. If you love that muted vintage vibe, just look for pieces with a little more rose or warm pink in the base, instead of that greyish undertone. This tiny tweak can make all the difference. It's like flipping on a light switch for your whole look. Trust me, once you see how much fresher and more vibrant you feel in these softer blush tones, you'll wonder why you ever settled for dusky mauve. Chapter 3. Avoid bright slime. Now let's get into a colour that might not be in everyone's closet, but I see it pop up all the time in accessories and accent pieces. Bright lime. Lime green is such a fun, punchy colour that seems like it would add a cheerful pop to your outfit. But when you've got grey hair, bright lime is one of those shades that can completely overpower your natural elegance. Bright lime has a sharp, almost acidic quality that clashes with the softness of silver hair. It's such a high energy colour that it can make your face look washed out, even if you've got a healthy glow. I've seen women try to liven up a neutral outfit with a lime scarf or bright lime bag, and every time it just ends up pulling all the attention away from them and their beautiful hair. If you're drawn to fresh greens but find lime too harsh, let me suggest the pistachio blazer from Etro. It has that tailored, grown-up polish, but in a colour that feels gentle and serene. For something more relaxed, the cotton wide-leg trousers in soft mint are a beautiful way to incorporate colour without overpowering your look. These shades still feel playful, but they're softer and cooler, perfectly in tune with the elegant contrast of grey hair. Pair them with warm beige or cream to create a calm tonal outfit that feels refined yet fresh. If you want to keep things interesting without going neon, pistachio and mint are your best friends. I also find that these soft greens pair beautifully with neutrals like light grey or creamy beige, creating a calm tonal look that feels polished and grown up. Here's a little bonus tip. If you're worried about mint washing you out, pair it with a pop of soft coral lipstick. That little hint of warmth brings balance to the cool mint and keeps the look modern and fresh. I know bright lime can be tempting, especially in summer when it's everywhere, but once you see how much more flattering pistachio or mint can be, how they bring out your natural glow instead of fighting it, you'll never look back. Chapter 4. Forget dull mustard yellow. Let's talk about mustard yellow. Now, mustard is one of those colours that seems to pop up every fall, promising a warm, vintage-inspired vibe that feels artsy and creative. And I completely understand why so many of us are drawn to it. It looks stunning in the style, and it feels like the perfect way to add a little colour to all those neutral basics. But here's what I've seen again and again. On women over 50 with gorgeous grey hair, mustard can be a real confidence killer. Here's why. Mustard yellow has a muted, almost brownish base that can actually make your complexion look dull or tired. And when you combine that with the naturally cool undertones of grey hair, it creates a sort of muddy, murky effect that drags your whole look down. I've seen it time and time again, even in well-cut pieces like a wool coat or a cashmere sweater. The colour just doesn't play nicely with silver hair's natural brightness. Instead of mustard, which can sometimes feel muddy or overpowering, go for something soft and sunny like the gauze button-down from J. Crew in a pale lemon. It's lightweight, airy, and adds brightness without looking loud. If you're in the mood for something cosy, the cashmere sweater from Ralph Lauren in a soft yellow tone is another favourite. It brings warmth to the skin and works beautifully with cool-toned hair. These pieces give you that golden glow without dragging down your complexion, perfect for adding colour in a flattering, elegant way. If you're someone who loves those earthy autumn shades, don't worry. You can still get that key seasonal vibe by pairing soft yellow with warm camel or light oatmeal. These colours play beautifully together, creating a tonal palette that feels refined and fresh instead of heavy and tired. Another tip I love is to bring in yellow as a subtle accent instead of a head-to-toe look. A creamy yellow scarf or even a pair of buttery yellow flats can be enough to add a little brightness without taking over. And let me tell you, when you find the right yellow, you'll see how it lights up your whole face, making your grey hair look even more chic and intentional. So if you've got that mustard cardigan that just isn't quite working, give yourself permission to let it go. Trust me, a softer, sunnier yellow will feel so much more elegant and effortless, and you'll feel more vibrant every time you wear it. Chapter 5. Leave harsh black for another time. Let's move on to a colour that's a classic in almost everyone's wardrobe, black. Now, I know this one might feel controversial. We've all been taught that black is slimming, timeless and chic, and it absolutely can be. But here's the truth. Once you hit 50, and especially if you have grey hair, black can start to feel a little too harsh. I'm not saying you should never wear black again, but I see so many women default to black everything. Black trousers, black turtlenecks, black blazers, because it's easy and it feels safe. The problem is, black can create too much contrast against the softness of grey hair. Instead of flattering you, it can create harsh shadows that emphasize every line and make your skin look more washed out. So what do I suggest instead? Embrace deep charcoals, rich navy, or even deep forest green. These colours still have that slimming, sophisticated feel, but they're softer and more forgiving against grey hair. One of my go-to alternatives to black is the charcoal blazer from Paige. It gives you that same tailored sharpness, but in a shade that's a touch softer and much more forgiving around the face. If you prefer something even more minimal and classic, the Theory Staple Blazer is a must-have. It's clean, structured, and flatters grey or silver hair beautifully. I also love adding the cream scarf from Aparis as a finishing touch. It adds lightness near the face and softens the entire outfit, especially if you're wearing deeper colours underneath. If you're someone who loves the drama of black, try layering it with a soft scarf or a blouse in a warm cream or blush underneath. This adds a little brightness around your face, so you still get the sleek sophistication of black, but with a softness that feels more flattering. Here's another idea I adore. Switch out black accessories for deep navy or burgundy. A navy handbag or a rich oxblood loafer still gives you that grounding, classic feel, but with a depth that's so much kinder to silver hair. I promise you, once you see how much more luminous your complexion looks in these softer darks, you'll wonder why you ever relied on head-to-toe black. Black will always have its place, think evening events or as a sharp accent, but for day-to-day elegance, charcoal, navy and forest green are your best friends. Chapter 6. Say no to sickly beige. Alright, let's tackle a colour that's everywhere in modern minimalist wardrobes. Beige. Beige has this reputation for being sophisticated and timeless, and in theory it's a lovely neutral. But here's the catch. Not all beiges are created equal, and for women over 50 with grey hair, the wrong beige can be downright unflattering. You know the kind I'm talking about, those pale, almost yellowy or greeny beiges that look kind of flat and sickly. Instead of creating that elegant tonal palette, they can make your skin look sallow and even exaggerate the coolness of your grey hair in a way that's not so flattering. Instead of those yellowy beiges that can make your skin look dull, go for richer neutrals. One sweater I swear by is the Taupe cashmere crewneck from J. Crew. It's simple, flattering, and the warm undertone makes such a difference, especially when paired with silver hair. I also love the lightweight linen silk scarf from Quince. It's a soft layering piece that doesn't feel bulky but still adds that elegant texture and tonal harmony. These small colour adjustments can completely elevate your everyday outfits. I also love using warm taupe as a base for layering. It's such a forgiving backdrop for accessories, whether that's a scarf in soft pink or a delicate gold pendant. And the best part, it doesn't feel like it's trying too hard. It's just elegant, modern and easy. If you've got a lot of those washed out pale beiges in your closet, don't be afraid to let them go. They might feel like a safe choice, but they're probably not doing you any favours. Instead, look for neutrals that have a little life to them, a creamy oatmeal, a soft greige, or that perfect warm taupe. And remember, I've linked some of my favourite pieces in these beautiful flattering neutrals in the description below. They might be a little more of an investment, but they're the kind of elevated basics that you'll wear again and again. Pieces that will make you feel polished, elegant, and completely in harmony with your beautiful grey hair. Chapter 7. Steer clear of overly bright reds. Let's move on to a colour that so many of us have loved for years, bright red. Now, I'll be the first to say that red can be such a powerful, confident colour. It's bold, it's dramatic, and it definitely has its place. But here's the thing. I've seen time and time again, bright cherry red can be surprisingly harsh when you're over 50, especially with grey or silver hair. Bright red has a vivid, almost neon undertone that can clash with the softness of grey hair. I've noticed that instead of complementing the natural cool tones in silver hair, it tends to create a jarring contrast. It's like the red is saying, "Look at me," but not in that elegant, confident way we're going for. I've seen so many women wear bright red jackets or dresses thinking it's giving them that vibrant pop, but what it actually does is overwhelm their complexion. It can make the skin look ruddy or emphasize any redness in the face, which none of us want. So what's a better option if you love red but want it to feel refined and harmonious with your beautiful hair? Swap out that bright, almost cartoonish red for a deep, rich wine or burgundy. These colours have that same confident feel, but with a sophistication that works beautifully with silver hair. I highly recommend the burgundy velvet blazer from Tod's. It has richness and depth, but still feels elegant and mature, not too bold or flashy. Another gorgeous piece is the Yana blazer by Taupe, which comes in a stunning wine tone that works beautifully with grey hair and feels very modern. These are the kinds of reds that bring confidence and sophistication without any of the harshness of bright cherry tones. Here's a styling tip. Pair a rich burgundy blazer with a soft cream turtleneck or even a blush pink silk blouse. These lighter creamy tones break up the intensity of the red and create a balanced tonal look that's both modern and timeless. Another little trick I love is to play with texture. If you're going to wear a deep wine tone, go for a fabric with a bit of texture, maybe a soft velvet or a brushed wool. These little textural touches add so much depth and dimension, making the colour feel even more luxurious. I know it can be hard to let go of those bright reds if you've always loved them, but once you see how much more sophisticated you feel in a deeper shade, how it works with your hair instead of against it, I promise you won't look back. Chapter 8. Avoid ice-cold pastels. Now let's talk about something I see so often in spring and summer collections. Icy pastel colours. You know the ones, soft lilac, baby blue, minty green. They can feel so fresh and light, like a little breath of spring air. But here's what I've found. On women over 50 with grey hair, these icy pastels can actually have the opposite effect of what we're going for. The problem is, these icy pastels have a cold, almost frosty undertone. They can make the skin look pale and the hair look flat, almost like the colour is leaching out all the warmth and life from your face. I've seen women wear a pastel blue cardigan and tell me, "I feel so washed out, but I don't know why." And it's almost always the colour. So what's the alternative if you still love that soft, light feel? Go for warmer pastels instead. Colours that still have that airy quality, but with a gentle warmth that balances out the cool tones of grey hair. One of my favourite pieces for a warm pastel that doesn't wash you out is the peach V-neck sweater from J. Crew. It has that soft, airy feel we all love in spring, but the peachy tone adds life to your complexion. If you want something with a little more structure, try the cashmere silk jumper from Me+M. It's luxurious, flattering, and a perfect example of how warmer pastels can truly glow against grey or silver hair. Here's a styling tip I swear by. When you're wearing these warmer pastels, anchor them with warm neutrals. Think soft camel trousers or a creamy oat cardigan layered over your pastel top. These little warm touches ground the pastels and make the whole outfit feel cohesive and polished. If you're someone who really loves icy pastels and you're not quite ready to let them go, here's a little trick. Keep them away from your face. Maybe a pastel blue skirt or mint green pants with a warmer top. That way you still get to play with those soft, pretty colours without letting them dull your natural radiance. And remember, in the description below, I've linked some of my favourite warm pastel pieces that I think you'll absolutely love. These pieces are timeless, elegant, and the perfect complement to your silver hair. You know, one of the best things about building a wardrobe that truly flatters grey hair is that it's not just about style, it's about confidence and feeling like the best version of yourself every single day. If you're ready to explore some of these elegant, polished pieces, I've linked everything I talked about in the description below. They're definitely a bit of an investment, but trust me, they're pieces that will last for years and make you feel amazing every time you wear them. For even more timeless styling tips and advice, head over to my website. It's packed with inspiration and resources to help you feel effortlessly elegant every day. And if you're as obsessed with beautiful handbags as I am, don't forget to check out my dedicated handbag channel for those perfect finishing touches that complete your look. Thanks for spending this time with me. Now go out there and let your elegant style shine.